And welcome into this special truncated Tuesday edition of Cleveland Brown. I'm already wanting to get to Thursday. I'm already want to get there. I don't know why I do. You wouldn't be with me if it was Thursday.
Patience.
Not in the flesh, baby.
No,
It is a Tuesday edition of Cleveland Browns Daily. We're presented by Bally Bet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Please bet responsibly on 850 ESPN Cleveland. So off today, and London town we go tomorrow on the program. What did you make of your how you living? I guess I should start with that. How you living here on this fine Tuesday, buddy?
I'm doing well. I was, just sitting out. I'm like, why can we have this? Why couldn't this be June?
Well, this is unfortunately for us in the professions that we've chosen. September and October are the best that Ohio can do.
Yes.
And it's also coincides with our busiest time.
Yeah.
So if you aren't in the football business,
great time.
You're thriving
what
right
a time
now.
To be alive.
You're living your best life right now. You're taking your vacations.
Yep.
This is apex vacation time once the kids are gone and the kids aren't in school.
Yeah.
Like once the kids are out of nest, this is when I'm on a vacation. September, October. That's what I'm just saying. At that point, you're gonna I'm
gonna be 65
with little Z though. Like
I was 2 years away. 2 years away.
He's your youngest.
Yeah.
And so
he'll come.
He's just going to come with you. You're just going to pull him out of school. It's fine.
Go, baby.
Nana's there.
Yep.
Get her a siesta. Get her a little, and she's off to. So it all's going to work out for you.
Yeah.
That's how it's going to work. Yes, it's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful outside. We had Monday Night Football last night. I went 0 for 2. I went dogs in both, and dogs did not handle their business on either occasion.
No, at least I got out of there with a little split ski last night. I have to say, for those of you who haven't seen it, I don't recommend it unless you are somebody who not likes that type of thing, but is okay seeing things that are very troubling. Tyreek Hill's injury was insane.
Yeah,
I saw it in real time.
I wasn't watching in real time. I saw it on social. I didn't see it.
I saw it in real time, and I was just like, what?
Yeah.
I couldn't believe they re-showed it.
Yeah.
Man, that could be like I did doing a lot of reading about it. That could be a year, 2 year. That could be career.
Well, it's career altering at minimum.
Minimum.
Yeah, and maybe career ending. It was crazy
I don't even understand
to see
how it happens.
No, I don't either. The only thing I just keep going back to that, and I understand this isn't that, because this isn't muscles or muscles, ligaments or ligaments, so forth and so on. But I just wonder if these guys, you ask so much out of the quick twitch of your muscles that sometimes you almost run out, for lack of a better term, you almost run out of your own body sometimes. And I think you put so much torque that the human body almost shouldn't have. The amount of injuries we have to marquee faces of the league type guys, all pro guys. We're a month in, bud.
No. Well, a lot of them are on one of my fantasy teams. I have Lamar.
So long as your fantasy
Lamar, James Conner, Tyreek Hill, and Mike Evans were all on one team. And this big, long team lost them all. Tyrone Tracy, too, by the way, and he's not coming back. Cam Scadaboo's running wild now. Wild. Just gruesome. I thought it was one of the worst ones I've seen. Because it wasn't
certainly
like
in the combination.
I mean, McGahee, where like you see them get hit and their leg bends, like his leg was like over. It was so
the Nick Chubb one was like that. You were in the booth on that one, but
Nick Chubb's was more like a McGahee though, where it's a hit that does it. You couldn't see what happened. You just saw him kind of like roll over, and all of a sudden like
they quickly had on the Chubb one though, on the television copy, they quickly had like the very first replay was like, oh, okay. I don't need to see that again.
Horrific, but like in this, his leg, instead of pointing like this, like his shoe was pointing like.
Yeah. Right.
His whole leg was.
Yeah, I know.
Wrong.
Yeah. I just couldn't believe like even his spirit on the cart, like with the big smile and arm around the guy, like.
So they did surgery last night, which the sports doctors that I read on the socials say that's a very good sign. Like, it's going to take multiple surgeries, but that there can be like arteries and nerves and very like lose that portion of your leg bad, like worst case scenario.
Yeah, it was
terrific, man.
Yeah, and it's probably the headliner of the night, of a night that has a lot of headliners to them. If we just stay in that game, I mean, that blow is massive. But you think about Darren Waller's out of the league for a couple of years.
Yeah, a couple of touchdowns.
Comes and grabs a couple of touchdowns in that game. There was a crazy stat that Warren Sharp had on Justin Fields I don't know if you saw this last night. So Fields statistically, like if you just looked at it statistically, you go, God, what a dude.
Yeah.
And he actually played pretty well. He had the big run on fourth down where he kind of made something out of nothing. But Justin Fields is now 0-25 in games where his team gives up 21 points or more.
Wow.
Which is, there's no real precedent for that.
No.
Now, it's not on him last night, but some of it is they get behind early, and then it's almost like, okay, let him chase, and then you just kind of let him play, and then it works. Garrett Wilson, that is a ridiculous grab that he had for the last touchdown. That is an
He should have had another
grab.
one. He should have one earlier, too.
Yeah. So, I don't know. And then I heard all the stuff with Aaron Glenn post-game with, you could hear him in the media room yelling at the team and stuff. They're 0-4. Miami's 1-3.
What was he yelling? I didn't see any of that.
They didn't show it. There just was reports like Rich
Samini
and those guys who we have on the show, like they were saying, like you could hear him audibly yelling in the press room, which must be near the visitors' locker room at that stadium. So, I think he's trying to inspire his guys. I don't know that it's for lack of effort. In their instance, I don't think that it's that. It's just, some of these teams just aren't very good.
Yeah. Speaking of not very good, the Bengals without Joe Burrow are disgraceful.
So 3 out of the 4 weeks, they haven't mustered 200 yards of total offense.
One was with Joe Burrow, which was with us. The only one they did was Jacksonville.
Yeah, where he got the start. I think what we always knew is that Joe Burrow was a Band-Aid on a hemorrhage down there. He allowed for them to cut corners on the offensive line. Not that they did it intentionally. They just didn't hit on their picks on the offensive line. It allowed for their defense to be pretty porous because they had him, and he was kind of like he's a get-out-of-jail-free card. Well, what I think we realize now about what's happened to their roster over the last 3 or 4 years is it is the most top-heavy roster in the league, and that he wasn't a Band-Aid over a hemorrhage. He was a Band-Aid over a decapitation, that when he's out, there is no where to go. I mean, he fixed all of it. He fixed the offensive line, and it probably speaks to his greatness that they even were in the mix as much as they were last year, because this is who they are. I mean, they are incompetent.
And when you think of first of all, you lose Joe Burrow, but then you think of the double, triple, quadruple whammy of the fact that you just paid Jamar Chase and T. Higgins.
Well, it's even worse because you're only paying Trey Hendrickson for this year, and then it's done.
T. Higgins is kind of like his contract is kind of like that.
Yeah.
They need to trade for a quarterback. Like they should get Jameis.
So I looked into this morning. Really, their only options are Jameis and Russ.
No, definitely not Russ.
Right. I would do Jameis too, because at least then you can get the downfield passing game.
You'll score.
You'll score. Like he's going to throw it to the other team, but right now you're not throwing it to anybody. So you're going to score with him. He'll throw it down the field. He'll give you a shot in the arm in the locker room. Like he's an excitable guy. He's fun to have around. I'm with you on that. I mean, basically the only other guys that are out there that you would think could maybe keep your head above water, like Cousins, they can't do it. Like financially, they can't bring him on. And so that one doesn't work. And then the other one you hear a lot was like Garoppolo, but like I think the Rams think they have a Super Bowl team. There's no way they can risk it with Stafford with the injury. So they need to have Garoppolo there to be able to stem the tide.
It's Jameis. If the Browns make a change at quarterback, Joe Flacco would probably do just fine there, throwing the ball around to those guys. But that's pretty much it. It's funny. It's guys who have been here, but that's kind of it. Now could they try to go entice the Raiders and give Kenny Pickett a look, which would be hilarious. Now we're talking about just anybody who's ever been here. Jacoby Brissett's got to be somewhere, right? Like, but
or Snoop Huntley.
But they've got to. I mean, you can't keep going with this.
No.
And you look at their schedule.
They have to make a decision. See, the problem, unlike Baltimore, which if this season goes, if Baltimore takes a left turn, and I don't think they will, but if they did take a left turn.
They're on the ramp.
They are. They're on the off-ramp for sure. But there's also a long off-ramp that can turn back into an on-ramp for them.
Sure.
Like it's
if he misses the next two, they could easily be 1-5. 1-5 is a pretty deep hole.
But there's a stretch of their schedule that evens things out pretty good for them. If you're Cincinnati, though, there is no next season. It was all for this season. Like they have to do whatever is necessary to be around 500 if Burrow comes back. They have to be This is why those first 2 games are so critical to them. They've got a little wiggle room to play with. As currently constructed, they're clearly not getting there. But that's where they got to be within a game of 500 by the time Burrow comes back. It's hard to see it.
No chance. All right, Lions, Packers, Steelers. So now we're 2-5. Jets, maybe.
It's currently constructed, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Bears,
I don't.
Probably not. So let's give them the Jets. So now you're 3-5.
3-6, right?
3-6. You lose to the Bears. At Steelers, loss. 3-7. Home Patriots, probably a loss.
If they don't do anything, then they're going to lose most of these.
3-8. Then it's at Ravens, at Bills.
It's Ravens, Bills,
Ravens.
Yeah.
At Dolphins, Cardinals, Browns.
They were initially hoping that they were initially pointing for the second Ravens game for Burrow, but
they'll be 3. They'll be at that point. They will be
3 or
3-11 or 4-10.
Yeah,
you're not bringing him back.
Even as optimistic as possible, 5-9, and at that point, it's a lost season anyway. So
yep.
Yeah. So then at that point, if you're them, you probably pivot, and I wonder if they could trade Hendrickson.
For sure, yeah, you would trade Hendrickson.
I would pivot and trade Hendrickson. I would probably listen on Higgins too. I know that would seem to be tough because you just did the extension on him, and I don't know if it's even possible. But I'd be open to anything at this point and this is how cruel this sport is. It's how cruel this is.
They should
man.
be thinking. Honest to goodness, the guy that should be trying to get out of there if it goes south is Joe Burrow.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. Those things don't happen in this sport typically, but
coming off of his 3rd big injury in 6 years, it's not like it's not without risk.
Oh, for sure.
For a team that would take him on would not be with.
I'm guessing it'd be a long list of teams that would be willing.
I believe it would be a long list.
I feel like people would give up quite a bit to get their hands on him, even with the injuries. But yeah, he covers up a lot of it. He covers up a lot of the problems.
They really should be. Honest to goodness, they should be 0-4. We should have beaten them. I don't feel crazy saying that. The Jags.
No, there were 6 things that had to happen for us to lose to them.
And the penalty that was called on Travis Hunter was one of the worst penalty calls of this whole season that allowed the Bengals to win that game. They should not have won that game.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little bit of like, what are your – for these teams that are in the spot, like Cincinnati's in off to this terrible start, Baltimore – I mean, Baltimore's got a ton of injuries too. But you're in your window. This is the window. It's right now to go win it, and you have to do everything that you can, I think, to try to do it. For them, unfortunately, like the thing that we just did, the schedule game we just did with the Bengals. I wonder what that would look like, what that game would look like if we said Jameis. Like you might get a split with Pittsburgh with Jameis because it's good and bad.
He's not. It is good and bad, but it's
we lived it. I mean, we know what it is.
Yeah. Like he was still 2-5 with us last year.
No, I know. I'm not I know he's going to throw it to the other team, but he's also got a 385-yard game where Jamar Chase goes
bonkers,
11 for 260. I mean, he's got that too.
That's in him, yes.
And so if you had that once or twice, here's what I know: if I'm them with all I got into this season, I can't keep doing this.
You got to have somebody.
You can't keep playing Jake Browning. I mean, that's not it.
That is over with. That's over with.
And I don't even know who else they have. They've kept Browning. It goes to that thing we were talking about a little bit yesterday with that Monson tweet about the offensive line, almost academy to get better offensive line. You could do the same thing at quarterback. Like Jake Browning's been there for quite a while as the backup.
I know.
And he's not.
So the last time they saw him was 2023.
Yeah.
He goes 4-3 as a starter, completes 70% of his passes, actually was the highest completion percentage in the NFL, 1,936 yards, 12 touchdowns, 7 picks, and a rating of 98.4. Like 2 fourth-quarter comebacks, 2 game-winning drives.
So they must have had in 2020.
And then he didn't have to play in 24.
Yeah. In 2023, they must have been much more capable up front, and they probably had a run game of some sorts. Right now they have none. So he's on his heels. What I'm suggesting is their team might have been better in 2023 than it is now.
100%. And you can't, just the reality of it is you cannot, when you are paying a quarterback that kind of money, you don't get to have a good backup.
No.
Unless you draft one who ends up being a good backup. But you don't get to like pay for one.
Yeah, the old days of Montana into Young, into Bono, into Gerbach. It's over, man.
Yeah, it's over.
Yeah, you just don't have that.
No.
You don't have quality. You just don't have that type of depth at the position. So,
no.
Yeah, this was a It's crazy.
That
We're
was
not
a
even
sobering game.
It was.
It could have been a lot worse.
It could have been so much worse.
That was just a beating.
A quarter of the way through the season at this point, and you think about how fundamentally different these teams are than we perceived them to be in August. So many of these teams. Baltimore's the biggest example. I mean, Baltimore, if you would have told me in August Baltimore's going to be 1-3 at the end of September, I would have said you're nuts. No way. The Bengals changed dramatically because they don't have Joe Burrow anymore. I mean, I had the Bengals in the postseason. I had Baltimore win the division.
I'll tell you
now, neither one looks like they're going to do it.
Right now, if you were to ask me, okay, give me like realistic Super Bowl, like teams that could realistically win the Super Bowl in each conference.
Hold on. Write yours down.
Okay.
All right. So the task is teams that could win the Super Bowl in each conference as they sit right now. I think my list is going to be pretty short.
All right. We are writing our lists for those who are listening. I'm not doing it in order.
I'm not either.
I'm going by.
All right, I'm good.
Hold on.
I'm good. So these are teams that we could see winning the Super Bowl as it stands right now. That's the task at hand. That's the task.
Yep.
At hand. And this, I think, will go to the kind of this little exercise. I think is going to prove the point of how much things have changed in a month. Some of this is injury, right? A lot of it's injury. There's some of that's out there for sure, and then some of it's just teams just not performing. All right, I'm ready. You ready? AFC.
I have 10 teams.
Whew. I got 6.
Okay. Buffalo.
Yep.
I'm still going to say Baltimore.
I can't
if they get their stuff together,
but I can't because of where they are now. Their injury stuff is crazy. They're staring down the barrel of Lamar missing for a while. Defensively,
2 weeks.
They got injury all over the place.
See what their schedule is.
Roquan, Matabuke.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Matabuke is out for the year.
Yeah. I mean, they got massive issues.
Texans, Rams, then the bye week. Then they go Bears, Dolphins, Vikings, Browns, Jets, Bengals.
So that's right. That was the stretch where I told you that's where they got to be healthy. That's 6 games. They got to go 4-2 in that stretch, and they got to go probably 3-1. That gets you to 4. You're around 8-8.
I think they can get. I think they're looking at
something's not
10
right.
and 7.
I don't think the way their defense is now, though. I don't think they can do it. Okay, next. So you have Baltimore in. I don't.
I just think if they get into the playoffs, if they're in the dance, they're going to have a chance. No. Kansas City.
Yep.
Chargers.
Nope.
Denver. Why not?
I don't trust Herbert in a big spot yet. As much as I love him, I think he's got to earn that, and I don't think that Denver is scary enough offensively at all. So I don't think they're ready for that either. I think their defense is nice, but I think they're a year or so away.
Because I actually think they're pretty good. Is Indy?
Indy is not winning the Super Bowl, and I don't think
they're
chance.
going to.
So the task was you could envision these teams winning the Super Bowl.
Because I just watched them go to L.A., who's a team that is guarantees on your list.
Yeah,
and they should have beaten them if a guy doesn't just drop a ball going into the end zone.
Yeah, fair. I can't get there.
That's why they're on my list.
Kansas City and Buffalo.
Them play.
I think there's 2 teams in the AFC: Kansas City and Buffalo.
I got in the NFC: Philly, Detroit, Green Bay, and the Rams.
Same. That's it. Those 4, and I just got 2. Of the ones that you mentioned that I didn't.
You said if I had to
I would. I swear to God,
Buffalo,
I would ride a steed bare chested down Lou Groza the day after if the Indianapolis Colts win a Super Bowl.
They're not going to,
or if they play in one, I will go do it. Shaps, bare chested steed. Down Lou Groza.
I want
the Colts
a hot
are in the
tub
Super Bowl.
filled with au jus that I can bathe in and dip prime rib
while you're watching.
Just watching
you
go by. Yeah. No, I don't.
Of the teams you mentioned, the ones that honestly, I really think Baltimore's in trouble. So
feels that way.
I think the one that I would get. I was aligned with the Chargers until I saw Sunday was.
It was a bad game.
It was.
How they responded.
It just was not right. For a good team, doesn't do that. They don't play that way. The way that they played. Some updates.
I'm just to throw one thing at you. Do you know could you name, there are 4 teams in the NFL that have a point differential through 4 weeks that is greater than 40 points. 40 points or greater.
Man.
The Lions are 49. That's number 1 in the NFL.
Buffalo
is 43. That is 3rd.
Would one of the other NFC Westers?
There is an NFC West team, yes.
Well, it's not the Rams because they lost and they played Seahawks?
The Seahawks are plus 44. They're second best differential. And then fourth.
What division?
It's on my list. Their team you're
the
going to be on a steed. Colts are plus 40 with a loss by 7. Loss.
Yeah. No, they've been great.
They should have won.
They're great. They're great. It's been a nice story. We'll see if it can continue. Vikes injury updates from overseas. Looks like they could be without starting right tackle and captain Brian O'Neill. Sprained MCL.
And they give 6 sacks.
Suffered in the Steelers game and is considered week to week. Well, in that case, I think that's very likely.
We can win this game by... I think we can win the next 2 games by not letting the other team score. And eventually, if we can get 3, we have
G-Man is just getting a view into Gibbe's world right now. It's amazing. The new Rumpke Recycling and Resource Center helps feed the circular economy by supplying Ohio companies and others in the Midwest the material they need to put what you place in your bins to good use. To learn more about the facility and how you can recycle more, visit rumpke.com today. Those were your hot topics today, presented by University Hospital, official healthcare partner of your Cleveland Browns. Coming up next, your Microsoft Minute. You're listening to Cleveland Browns Daily. We're presented by Bally Bet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Please bet responsibly on 850 ESPN Cleveland. All right, welcome back into Cleveland Browns Daily. We're presented by Bally Bet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Time for a little Elk and Elk. Serious lawyers, serious injuries. 1-800-ELK Ohio for a free case for you, Elk and Elks. Proud partner of your Cleveland Browns. Time now for that Microsoft Minute. It's presented by Microsoft Surface Copilot Plus PC. And for our final thoughts on the game against Detroit, we turn it over to Dr. Z.
Well, last week was really pretty much the greatest the Microsoft Minute's ever going to be. So we're not even going to try to compete. We're not even going to try to compete with that. The bottom line is, look, this is a Cleveland Browns team that right now is at a crossroads. Do you want to continue doing the same things that have made it so that it is very difficult for you to win football games, or do you want to clean those things up and find out what this team can be? Because right now there is one area of this football team that really is beyond reproach, and that is the defense. This is the number 1 defense in the National Football League. They are the best. They are game wreckers up front. You got guys who are taking the football away on the back end. You've got 2 linebackers in Carson Schlesinger and Devin Bush, probably playing as well as any linebacker tandem in the NFL. You really limited Detroit to 10 points on offense.
Yep.
We went through it yesterday. They had the same number of drives over 50 yards as the Cleveland Browns in that game. They had the same number of drives over 40 yards, 2, as the Cleveland Browns in that game, as a Detroit offense, as the Browns offense did. So it's not like they were just running up and down. That 34, very, very deceiving. So you've got to help that defense out. Offensively, we've got to start scoring 20 points. We've got to find a way to score 20 points. I don't care what it takes. Get the 20 points. We also have to stop turning the football over. By the way, I think those kind of maybe go hand in hand. Double-digit or 2 or more giveaways in 10 of your last 11 games. Think about that. 2 or more giveaways in 10 of your last 11 games. I know it was 26 and 9. Then we had one, so 27 and then 3. So we're at 30 giveaways in the last 11 games. 30.
Yeah.
You can't win. There are teams that won't have 30 giveaways in a season. Lots of teams probably, and good ones, teams that win. And then special teams. Right now I'm just calling them teams because they certainly have been anything but special. You have got to have done.
G-Man.
G-Man. You can't laugh that loud. I mean, it was a good line. I just came up with it. But teams have got to become special, or at least be neutral teams. Neutral teams.
Neutral.
Good teams. Fine. Fair teams. But they've got to be special. They cannot be bad teams. And unfortunately, that's what it's been. And so if we're going to be a team, we have two identities right now. And two identities that can lend themselves to winning. Elite defense, and we have got a guy in Quinshon Judkins that is a bell cow. That is a guy that looks early in his career fitting to try to fill the enormous shoes of the gentleman to our left, Nicholas Jamal Chubb. So those are our identities. Everything else we have got to keep building up. We got to build up this pass game. We got to build up scoring on offense. Our tackles, hopefully the trade will help those tackles out because, as I said, we're giving up too many pressures, not enough time to throw the football, and then teams has got to be viable. It cannot be such a negative 3 out of the 4 weeks.
Yeah, so much has changed. Great job out of you. So much has changed since the last time that Joe was here. So he picked up a couple of years of age, and so that's certainly a part of it. The other part of it is we are not where we were in 23 on the offensive front. So even in this sport, a quarter of a second can be a lifetime for a quarterback.
Yep.
And so he's under constant duress, and he does not have the mobility to create some time, and he's not someone who wants to move the pocket and roll out of the pocket and be those things. So all the things that you could do when your offensive line isn't playing at a high level, they don't fit into who Joe is at this point in his career.
No.
So that's so much of the success that you had in 2023, those things were in place.
Yep.
You were still a very good offensive line at that point, really good at tackle, and you could run it. And obviously Amari was at that point a true A-list number one receiver in this league.
Yep.
And that's things have changed.
Things have changed in a great deal, and we'll see what that ultimately means going forward. But yeah, more has to change.
Yeah.
Some things need to revert back to what we like and what they were, and other things need to change bigly.
Yeah, the thing that I'm sure is eating at Kevin a lot on this is the things that he always wants to be is he wants to be a team that plays clean offensively, and you want to have special teams be a net positive. And right now both of those are negatives, and it's not even like, oh, this is an aberration. Like, this has become who we are.
It's been since 23.
Yeah. We
went through it yesterday.
Yeah, it's been a long
We turn the football over too much. And what I don't understand is I know he preaches it. It's in every meeting. It's in every practice. They're screaming, we cannot turn the football over, and yet we do.
Yeah. And when you do, you can't be successful.
No.
It's just kind of that simple. We'll go 4 downs with college football. Nate and Uncle Bo coming up next. You're listening to Cleveland Browns Daily. We're presented by Ballybet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Please bet responsibly on 850 ESPN Cleveland. And welcome back into Cleveland Browns Daily, presented by Ballybet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. And add more fun to your fandom with the Ballybet Sportsbook app. Download today. You get 50 back in bonus bets. You place your first wager of 10 or more. Ballybet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Time for 4 downs of college football with College Football Nate. Hello, G-Man.
Hi, guys. How are we doing?
G-Man.
All right. Well, I would say hit it, Kev, but we don't have Kev. So let's go.
First down.
Through the first third of the season, what is Ohio State's biggest weakness?
I don't think this team. Thank you for teaming me up there. I don't think they have much of a weakness. I'll be honest with you. I like everything about this team. I've been saying it kind of ad nauseum. I think that they're the best team right now in college football. I think that they should be the team that you expect to win it. Their defense is suffocating. Nobody's even scored 10 points against this Buckeyes defense yet this year. You'd like to see maybe a little more explosivo, but we'll get there. The offense, I think, when they unleash it, is going to be just fine. I really don't think there's a big weakness.
Yeah, I think they're the best team in college football right now, and I think they have the highest ceiling in the sport. I think that I've been around Ohio State football for 18 years now. I have never seen a defense that is built this way, that is this malleable. So what they did out in Seattle against Washington was the defensive line had incredible discipline, and they basically were just gap sound. And they just crushed the pocket, but they didn't get too far upfield, so there were no running lanes for Damon Williams at all. He had negative 28 yards rushing in the game. This is a guy who was averaging in the 70s per game rushing. He was negative 28. They had the 2 leading tacklers on Ohio State were Caden McDonald and Caden Curry. That's a defensive end and defensive tackle. They had 8 hurries between the two of them and 5 sacks between the two of them. So
yeah, Caden Curry's leading the nation.
You go to the line. Good job out of you, college football, Nate. They go to the linebacker level. Arvell Reese. I don't know if you've been paying attention. Dane Brugler says he could be a top 15 pick in this draft. McShay was saying he's the best linebacker in college football. This is a Glenville kid. So you pair him with Sonny Styles, and now you have just incredibly athletic linebackers who fly everywhere. And then Caleb Downs is Ed Reed. So they have as much talent. Like defensively, it's probably the best group that I've seen potentially at Ohio State in terms of being what they're asked to do, and Patricia's really worked. If there's one thing that they're not crushing right now, it's red zone touchdowns. They got into the red zone a few times against Ohio and didn't come out with 6. First drive against Washington, get into the red zone, don't come out with 6, don't get any points. The reason they're having fewer possessions is because that's how they're kind of playing it. They only had 6 offensive possessions in the game against Washington. He's taking more of an NFL approach. Like, he's not trying to blow people out. He's like, get the win and move on.
Yeah, I'd like to blow. I think it's good for the confidence sometimes.
Yeah. He's trying to, like, let's just get the win and move on. That's his approach right now.
So is that thing or not a thing, that they're not converting touchdowns in the red zone?
Not yet, it isn't. But it might be. It might be down the road. Might be if you play Oregon in a Big Ten championship game. Might be in Ann Arbor, because I think that team's going to be pretty real by the time you get there.
All right.
Second down.
What team's loss last week hurt them more? Penn State to Oregon, Georgia to Alabama, or LSU to Ole Miss? College football, Nate.
I think Georgia losing to Alabama was a pretty big loss. And Georgia was a team that, they perennially have been in the mix. Alabama had already been struggling, right? Didn't they have? They had a weird loss early in the year.
FSU, yep.
Yeah, to Florida State, 31-17 in the opener. Georgia was number 5 going into that game. Was it? It was in Georgia. Do I have that right?
Yeah, it was in Athens.
Yeah, you can't lose between the hedges.
Your boy's burger joint.
Yeah, Al B. Grindhouse.
Between the hedges. How about this guy?
Come on.
Yeah, come on. So I think that was when you say who hurt them more. I think when you're a Georgia team, you're thinking about getting a bye. You're thinking about all of those things in your pursuit of a national championship. So I think that dropped them more. Like, Penn State is a pretender. We've always known that. I said it last week. I'm pretty sure on this program I said they're going to lose to Oregon because he doesn't win many big games. I'm like, it's not a big game.
What he does. Yeah,
he doesn't win big games. LSU losing to Ole Miss. I was more on Georgia's side of things anyway. LSU is good, but I think Nuss is a little sus. So I'm not dialed in.
I like the little underneath this little. That's nice. I think it's so Georgia's schedule. It's a tough loss. Kirby's like 1-11 against Alabama, which is weird because he beats everybody else.
Yeah.
But Georgia's schedule really eases up. Last year, their schedule was just absolutely brutal. Like everything's still ahead of them. The LSU loss is really damaging because I think there's more losses on the LSU schedule, and they're one of the few SEC teams that had a quarterback returning. I actually think that was most damaging one, though, is Penn State, and we both predicted it. Both of us had Oregon beating them. But this is now who they are.
Yeah,
they've been this for a while.
They're not real.
They're not a serious program.
Serious.
They cannot beat
The
top
real
10 teams at their place or on the road.
No.
And so when it comes to because they're probably going to get in. They'll probably beat everybody else except Ohio State. They'll lose to Oregon and Ohio State. Normally they lose to Michigan and Ohio State. And then they'll get to the playoff, and they'll lose a game to a team with like talent. That's who they are now.
How do you even rectify that? Like, is it James Franklin?
It's the hardest thing ever because I know folks over there. I got buddies of mine who are alumnus of Penn State, and what their fear is if they fire Frank, like right now they're relevant. They're a top 5, top 10 program perennially, and sometimes they get into they were in the college football semifinal.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think anybody over there thinks they're entitled to Ohio State, but their fear is that if they fire him, could you end up like Nebraska? And you could. Like, a lot of places would take 10-2 and Big Ten championship game appearances and college football playoffs. Like, a lot of programs would take it. And they're there, so it's like, yeah, we can't beat Ohio State, but like it could be a lot worse.
Third down.
So we talked about James Franklin now, and we will talk coaches again on this third down question. Who is the best coach right now in college football outside of Ryan Day?
All right, for people who were around during the crypto boom in 2021, there was a term, HODL, H-O-D-L, hold on for dear life is what it stood for. And I'm going with HODL as the second best coach in college football, and the H stands for hopped. Well, I guess it's huddle. I'm going with huddle. Hopped up Dan Lanning, because that guy was
like that,
on another planet. You call it smelling salts. Those of us who are alive in the 80s and have seen movies documenting that time might have a different perspective on what was going on.
I didn't know you and Pedro were in South Florida.
Hopped up Dan. Well, I've seen Scarface. I don't know. Hopped up Dan Lanning is listen, the guy's lost 3 times, I think, in the last 3 years.
You could fit in the back of that Testarossa Sonny Crockett was running around in and thrived.
Absolutely. I mean, listen, look at what he's done. You know, he goes 22, 10-3, 12-2, 13-1, 5-0 this year, number 2 in the AP. They just took care of really the toughest game on their schedule. They'll get one more test. I think they got Indiana coming up this week, if I'm not mistaken.
Next week.
Next week, okay.
Yep.
And they're going to take care of business at home against Indiana, and then it's smooth sailing. Rutgers, Wisconsin, Iowa, Minnesota, USC, Washington, not another tough game on the schedule. Dan Lanning's going to go undefeated. They're going to go in as one of the top seeds into this playoff.
No notes. That's the answer.
Yeah.
That's the answer.
Right.
Hopped up Dan Lanning.
He was all jacked up, man.
That is the dude.
That's
He's
pretty great.
He's
Mountain Dew.
He really hit it.
He's a psycho.
He really is.
I love it.
I think it's also like the alignment of program with coach. Like, you have to have the night money to make it all work. Some other one. I mean, obviously Kirby's not going anywhere. I'll tell you one. Let me give some flowers. Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin winning at Ole Miss like this. I hope he never goes anywhere. Don't go to Florida.
He's my favorite coach on Zoom.
Stay there. He's so great on the Zooms. He's so great in the press conferences.
Yeah.
Like, stay at Ole Miss forever.
All right, and that brings us to fourth down. Let's play a little contender or pretender. We are going to start with college football, Nate, and we're going to start with the 5-0 Clark Lee-led Vanderbilt Commodores. They are at number 10 Alabama this weekend. It's game day in Tuscaloosa. Contender or pretender?
I think they are a contender. I really do. I like what I'm seeing from Vanderbilt. You know, right now, 5-0. You look at their schedule, you say, who have they beaten? Who have they taken on? Well, let me tell you. You beat number 11 South Carolina 31-7. Not just a little bit.
No, they're
an
good.
Absolute beating. And they basically have beaten everybody. They haven't even played a close game yet this year. Closest anybody's been to them, 20 points where they beat Utah State. Now it's going to get tough. They got Alabama, LSU, Missouri, Texas the next 4. A little bit of a gauntlet.
Guess we'll find out.
A little bit of a
find
gauntlet.
out about
but
the
I'm
boys,
going to say
the
contender.
Commodores.
I'm calling for the Commodores to go 2-2 over these 4 games. And if they do that, they're going to the playoff.
2-2. Yeah, maybe. It's a really nice story.
And Ardrea wants to go there, so they're contenders.
My buddy Rob Shaw, prominent alumnus of Vanderbilt. But if not that she needs any, but we can have that conversation off air.
Yeah.
Vandy, no, I don't think so. I think it's a really nice story. Very good story. But I also think Vanderbilt's probably the only team in the SEC that doesn't think it's entitled to national championships. They're the only ones that kind of understand their place. Everybody else in that league believes they can be Bama.
All right. Florida State, 3-1. They're hosting number 3 Miami this week.
Total fraudsters. They're going to get smoked by the U.
Miami's real. I think Florida State, I don't know, I haven't even looked at like the scores or anything, but I think Florida State will appoint themselves very well. I wouldn't be surprised if they won, but I don't think it's sustainable based on what we saw against Virginia, and I think Miami's pretty sustainable.
All right, final one is the 6th-ranked Texas A&M Aggies. They are 4-0. They host 4-1 Mississippi State this week. Mississippi State did beat Arizona State, one of the favorites out of the Big 12. College football, Nate, contender, pretender, the Aggies.
I don't think Myles Garrett, Von Miller, or John Football are walking through the door anytime soon. I'm nonplussed right now. You know, you could be overwhelmed or underwhelmed. I'm just whelmed with Texas A&M right now. Just perfectly whelmed. I think that as you look at this thing and how it's going to unfold here, sure, could we go ahead and beat Mississippi State, Florida, sham of a program that they are now? But you're talking about LSU, Missouri, Texas over the last 5. They're going to drop all 3 of those. They might even lose to Samford after they get demoralized. Pretender.
Samford's getting them too.
Name one player that went to Samford.
Went to Samford?
Yes.
Bobby Bowden.
Sam.
Devlin Hodges. Come on.
Devlin Hodges.
Duck Hodges?
Duck Hodges getting a drop in?
Wow,
Unbelievable.
Duck Hodges.
Pittsburgh Peapod G-Man coming back to haunt us. I tell you what, I think Texas A&M is going to the playoff, kids. I think Florida, I'm looking at this schedule. Even if they lose 2 of the 3 to LSU, Missouri, and Texas, they're still going to get in. They got a win over a very good Notre Dame team in South Bend already. Their schedule sets up very nicely for them.
Yep.
To me, they feel like 10-2 minimum.
Oh, baby.
Yeah.
You're not buying the Samford.
I'm not. No, it's not buying Samford.
All right, really quick.
Yeah.
Bonus. Guess the score. Kent State at number 5, Oklahoma.
Can you give me the Kent State scores up until this point so I know what I'm dealing with there, G-Man? Do you know
they've been in the 40s regularly.
They lose in the 40s?
Yeah.
Kent State's schedule thus far, they have gone. They lost 21, or they won 21-17 over Merrimack.
That's right.
Yep.
Lost 62-14 to Texas Tech, 31-28 to Buffalo, Khalil Mack, and 66-10 to Florida State, the fraudsters.
All right. Georgia. So here's the problem. Oklahoma's without John Mateer, but they're going to go the other way with it, and I think they're going to try to say, look, everything's fine. We don't have John Mateer. It doesn't matter. Sooners, 77. Kent State, 7.
I got 52-7.
All right.
There you go. 4 downs with College Football Nate and your Uncle Bo. The Cleveland Browns High School Game of the Week, presented by Ohio Cat, showcases some of the top matchups and rising stars against Northeast Ohio. Each week, fans vote for the game they want to see, and the winning team earns $3,000 in funding plus spotlight coverage on the Browns' social media. We'll go around the league coming up next. You'll listen to Cleveland Browns Daily, presented by Bally-Bet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Please bet responsibly on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Head to your local Meijer, scan the Hillshire Farms QR code in the meat department, and buy one smoked sausage.
Sausage!
And buy one smoked sausage.
Sausage!
Get 150% off. I love that so much.
That's sausage.
From now until today, that is September 30th, for a chance to win a suite for 10 to the Steelers game on December 28th. Time to go around the league. Gibbe and G-Man want to know, I'm sure Dr. J does too, who wins first, Jets, New Orleans, or Tennessee?
All right, let's
The
go.
First thing we got to do is look at their
the schedules.
All right.
I'm gonna say though, just off, I think the Jets are the best team of the three, so I'm inclined to take the Jets. Right. Jets get the Cowboys at home this week. Titans are on the road in Arizona. They're not going to win that. And the Saints, man, we got byes this week. Saints at home against the Giants and Jackson Dart.
There's a possibility. Saints next 2 times. So you have that one, then the next week they get the Patriots at home.
Patriots are going to smoke.
Patriots are better, but it's you never know.
I'm going to say Tennessee has no chance. It's Jets or New Orleans.
When is Tennessee's? Who do they got in 2 weeks? Tennessee in 2 weeks. Why can I not find them?
Tennessee at Vegas.
Yeah, that ain't happening.
Jets in 2 weeks have the Broncos at home. They're not winning that. So Jets need to get it done this week.
Yeah, they're the best team of the of the three.
Like they would be if they were playing those teams, they would be the favorite.
Yes, for sure. Rattlers got a couple of more games.
Jets get Panthers at home week 7.
Well, now that will depend on what the Panthers did the week before.
Yeah.
Because they're one of those.
By the way, they're going to have to get the Bengals. Bengals are in a bunch of primetime games. They got to get them right on out of there.
I thought that, like, Troy Aikman was ready to just strangle people last night. I thought he was so good.
He was not pleased.
I think the other thing that we talked a little bit about Manningcast yesterday, I think the other thing is Aikman and Buck are so good.
So good.
They're the best
Yeah.
duo. And so I just like listening to them call a game. And I think that hurts a little bit too. This is the old Monday night when they were trying to figure out what their answer was on the calls. It was much easier to go to Manningcast.
Yeah.
But with Buck and Aikman, it's like it's a big commitment.
Yeah.
To go there. They had no patience. Gibbe, the G-Man, and Dr. J now want to know who loses first, Philly or Buffalo. Philly, you want to pull up Philly?
Yeah.
All right, I'll pull up Buffalo. The Buffalo Bills. Oh, baby. Holy cow. It's going to be a while. Bills go Patriots at home, at Falcons, at Panthers, Chiefs at home. So that's in play. At Dolphins, Bucks at home, at Texans, at Steelers, Bengals, Patriots, us, Philly. I mean, if the Kansas City Chiefs don't get them, they're not going to lose.
Eagles have Broncos at home this week, then at Giants, at Vikings, home Giants bye week. Then they'll get somewhere in here. At Packers, home Lions, at Cowboys, home Bears, at Chargers.
Oh, so there's
and then they finish at Commanders, at Bills, home Commanders.
There's a stretch in there, that second tranche that you did.
Yeah.
That's where your losses could come for them, and it would make a lot of sense for it to be that way. I think Buffalo's better than Philly right now.
Yes.
Let me ask you this on Philly. Were you surprised that they ran the Saquon Barkley play? Did you see it?
No.
Okay, so they get up in tush push, and instead of tush pushing it, they get up to run it, and instead of doing it, Jalen just flips it to Saquon, and he walks in.
Yeah, it's a good play.
Right.
But why not?
I would have saved it until January.
Yeah, you didn't need that. In the
I don't
game
need
against...
to. I wouldn't want anybody knowing that was there.
Yeah,
I think that there would come a time you tush push every one of these.
Yeah.
You get into a January postseason game and you line up and tush push on like your own 35 or 45.
Yeah.
And you go 60. It was on the 6-yard line.
No, I hear you. I hear you.
Keep that one in the bag a little bit.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying. That's where I'm at on that.
Keep it in the bag.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean with that, G-Man? How we doing back there? Jeez, what a time to be alive. This
so
is fun.
good.
This is fun.
This is
ideal. Some would say.
I could get used to this.
Some would say this is ideal. We hope you enjoyed this truncated version of Cleveland Browns Daily. We are, as always, presented by Ballybet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Please bet responsibly on 850 ESPN Cleveland.